Welcome back to the platform. Now, I was just thinking, because I keep on hearing that those who kill shall be killed. Now, I said, I know they didn't sit there and let somebody kill Jesus, or in my case, that version of me back in the day. Okay. Then they had these people on some type of restriction, right? This group. And I know this ain't the people. I know they didn't just, the presidents, Biden and Trump, didn't just pardon those people, try to block Jesus or Christ now, okay, from calling judgment on the situation and saying that those who, we're not even saying killed other people. We talking about those who killed or had something to do with the beheading or removing of the power of or something of the cornerstone or whatever this is. And so it's almost like, because there's many different elements included, especially we just gonna keep it at the energy of being a toxinist, a daughter of chieftain, and then also somebody that has royal blood. So they got their feet like the temperance angel or the Holy Spirit on the soil and the water. So they tried to take away the monarchy from America. Keep, when Elizabeth passed, you gonna keep the monarch energy that God, even if I was hidden, that God chose, the power. Okay, there is something behind the presidency. We'll say that that's connected to this element too of being an autochthonous one of a certain type of breed or creed. But the thing was the crown. At that time, what I was feeling was the crown was what I was getting prepared for. So they say, oh, we don't want to deal with like the royal aspect of this. We want to work with the worker breed. We want to work with the workers. We want to uplift them. We don't want to really dedicate our time and energy into the royals anymore. We're gonna go with the what did they call it? I can't remember what they called it back then. All right. When Johnson and all of them went over there and decided that they're gonna go with the worker breed. Now that would be funny if I grew up in a family, in a in-laws, in a community that knew that I was a hidden royal. And all of a sudden I wake up and realize that my family component has been broken up and that maybe these people have taken my particular partner and placed this person and their family in some type of power and my motherfucking, do you understand what I'm saying? During my rule, right? They was ruling all this time since they knew me and they didn't tell me that I was a royal and I didn't get to say so. So they was working with the royal family, even maybe even in the underbelly as a power unit or structure to make sure that in 20 years or 30 years, I look like the dumb at home mom wife that wouldn't be able to rule a kingdom and the person that just went to work for another company or a man. And this is funny because if this person was working at Veolia and if this is this energy where Hoffa was one of my strands, this person was working at that company. But the feather of mine was the one that owned the company. You trying to tell me because they said that they don't know if Hoffa passed away or not. He kind of just disappeared. All right, somebody could have told that motherfucker just gone. Your daughter could stay here or whatever, or you know what I'm saying. The daughter of whatever could stay here, but you got to go. Why I feel like sometime in between that time, being able to claim whatever this is, this company, they just said, oh, this person already work here with us. We'll take this person and make him the head of it. But that's not the point. You know how much money, time, you know, there's also some type of order here. You get what I'm saying? If somebody could do that to somebody, because really all you could have had to do was tell me the truth. I would have snapped in it. I would have did the research. I would have did the work. I would have found out what I needed to do. I would have went it, and I feel like it ain't even supposed to be that way. This shit is supposed to be presented to me. Yeah, this is okay. This is yours or whatever. Like this, get it. You know what I'm saying? It something just the fuck ain't right. So you're gonna try to remove the monarchy, keep me trapped here in America without my guards or my appointed guards or without my protection. Again, mind you, if I didn't know who I was, I wouldn't have known I had this protection. The reason why I would have had the protection is because other people knew who I was and that somebody could do something to me. So you scattering or using ICE to deport the men that are supposed to protect me as a rightful heir. See, y'all want to try to Diana me and try to say that I got some, like this is Diana's child or seed or something. That's some bullshit. I've been able to dismantle or change something, whether we're getting it back in order, whether it all fell apart. I've been able to do something that Diana and none of the other queens was able to do without even being in my station. Just think about if people wasn't working so hard to try to keep this away, just by being here. So now Trump and them is doing this. Okay. So I could feel with the Biden energy, I could feel the presence of the father in law. With Trump, I feel the presence of the actual spouse. Like I said, some of these people could be skinwalkers, but it's like, are you serious? Because you got to look at all this shit that's happening in the public eye. You have to look at it with duality. Either everybody see it the way that I see it, and I should have been able to see it this way the whole time. You get what I'm saying? Or the Christ will be somebody that be coming in, excuse me, excuse me, bringing a different point of view. But if people don't, they're gonna act like they don't understand it. They're gonna act like they wasn't warned about it. They wouldn't act. They're gonna act like when I speak about something that these people are not supposed to add to the equation, or they was not also anointed, or they was not also put in a position right now where they would know what I'm talking about and put one piece to the other. You're gonna either deny, denounce, or you're gonna sit there and ignore the fact of somebody that would be it's not needy. You understand? It's not needy. You deliberately took a stance or you were chosen for something, you're deciding not to do it. And then do a thing for what? Why would you decide not to do that? To honor something that you know you was chosen for. Like I said, this would be like even the servants and everything would know the protocol. The hidden child wouldn't know. It would be up for them. It would up to them to serve. Now, again, in some instances, their parents or them could have been served by your energy or their connection to me or whatever at some point in time. Some benefits or something came, some payment, something, some oath, something. It's the strangest thing to me. And now these people is like, oh, I'm all free. So what did you do? You said, oh, well, why are they in jail? Because the person is still alive. They didn't die. Something died. Let's think about this for a minute. And because all the other bullshit is going on and all the stuff that they talking about, most of the stuff that we talking about the presidency don't even matter. Because I was even thinking about like the Masons 33. But then then I was hearing source saying something like, oh, but think about it. And then I was like, 36, what? Oh, so like Christ energies or Jesus energies could be 36 strands. Something else could be, you know what I'm saying? And we could probably go higher with like a God strand or something like this. 43, 46, something like this. But it's kind of like a trail. It's kind of like a trail. Um, because they could leave you in that bracket. If they found 33 strands, they could leave you in that bracket for a minute, and then they find out, wait, there's more, and then you move up, move up, move up. But why? That's what I said. Why would somebody be doing it in a ghost form, where you're not involved in your own growth and learning and meeting people and shaking hands and making moves with it? Why can I see the strands? It's almost like a DNA kind of, how you see the strands of the DNA or whatever when they use it with science. It's like I could see the shit forming, but there's nothing changing. There's like a rip or a tear in the DNA or in the infrastructure. It's something that can be fixed, but somebody's trying to leave it like that so it could get like that's like you leaving a broken leg with the bone sticking out and then waiting that long for it to heal. When we all know that it's best that you go get it treated. They break the bone, put it back in place, put some stent on it, put things like this on it so that it could get healed properly, faster. I mean, I don't know if somebody get a broken leg and they couldn't have no treatment, they would probably die if you couldn't shift the bone or put it back in place and things like this and patch it up. If you just left it open and just left your ankle broken like this, it'll probably take a lifetime to heal, or you're probably gonna die, really. So everybody acting like they don't just see some big bones sticking out and shit like that. Like when we have the technology and we have um, doctors and things like this that are advanced today that can handle such a thing. It's weird to me. And somebody want to act like I'm crazy. The only way that my shit probably coming back void when I'm serious or I'm telling y'all something for real is if somebody manipulating the other side of the game to make it be. I'm supposed to be there's rights and birthrights and order and rights and all this shit. And you telling me now I know that they done came and scooped out people out of the corners of society and everything like this and dust them off and place them off. But the actual one that is the natural born real heir. That's why I say I don't want. I know that there's a version of me out there that look like Queen Elizabeth, the daughter, but I'm almost betting and counting on the fact because then they're gonna go off of her family in the line of succession. But I'm betting and counting on the fact that that person been gone a long time ago, and if they did some type of thing here to test something, you're gonna find that that may not even be there. There's something different about the genetics, or there's something different about the DNA. Say Queen Elizabeth the mother was my mother because I have an image where I look just like her. The fact of looking like two different queens, okay, I feel like that's enough for me. But when I think about it, I'm like, wait, I hold more weight being the daughter of the queen, the mother, the Bowman, I think it is, lions. Because if I look like her and Queen Elizabeth don't look like her, there's an inconsistency here. Now I know there's been scandals in families and royal families, but this is something that God is doing. I don't got time to be trying to cover up nobody. My channel ain't even that big. I know that if somebody's watching this channel, it's some random people that just like to hear me talk or like my point of view, or there's motherfuckers that know the truth and they listening and they waiting for me to say something that you already know, that you could have already just got that file, that paperwork to the side or something like this and come through. Now, I feel like there is something else on a celestial level, like Jupiter ascending. where it's a higher calling, right? There's a higher calling. Actually, there's many different avenues, but these people want to act like there's no avenue. There's many different avenues that I guess that I feel like are available to me because of my makeup. These people gonna sit there and try to hold back every single one of them. And we talking a lot of fucking money. We talking about supposed to be a protection or something around these finances, or this shit is supposed to be taken seriously. So you trying to tell me? So what we gonna have is a new nation of people that robbed a little girl since they was a little girl because the girl didn't know what her identity was, but these people did know, and they was all just sitting there, and you just let these people rob this child, and these are the people that you want to be the next 1%. After they talked all that shit and that propaganda about getting rid of these Jews that own the companies, the television companies, the elite, whoop de woo, all this and that. And people could look at my livelihood, and I'm pretty sure these people have been watching me on the Truman Show. They know what this is. They know that this is something good to start with, at least. Maybe the person wasn't perfect all day, but it seemed like, if this person is given this opportunity, they're gonna do right. Most of the time in their life, they was doing right. But you're gonna try to give power to the spouse and then tell the spouse secrets about me or something like this to have this person combat against me or start kicking me down when that motherfucker ain't nowhere near perfect, or the family. Cause we could just go back to if they took something from me, finances or something like this, or a crown when we first got married. Cause I don't hear nobody else that look like me or anything out here talking like me. So that means that that's not the person. Even if they saying, "Well, we already had," or "We thought that this was you." Well, you don't hear this person professing like me or talking like me. That's the change. It wouldn't be going on in silence and going on in the dark unless you're trying to sneak and do something. Because I feel like if I claim, even though I got that image of me looking just like Queen Elizabeth when she was younger, if I claim Elizabeth, I got to fight up against all these other people in succession when I know these motherfuckers don't want me to be nothing. Even if I took something outside of the crown, there's still some type of allowance or something like this that's supposed to be going on and some type of protection. I didn't exploit myself on the dark web into people in the public. They did. So whoever the fuck they are, all right? So I say there's only one option. If I had the choice or if I had the option, I'm going to choose to be the daughter of the mother, which could be the actual truth. And by the time, if the queen mother was a Sarah energy where it shouldn't be nothing to be humiliated, this could just be a miracle child. This could be something that God put and bestowed on her to carry me at a late age where somebody shouldn't even be having a baby. Somebody is saying, and then I was created. Wait, this could be the fact that in a situation with a certain royal family, that I was created because actually whatever was there was not acceptable. It was not right. It was not genetically something. So that would be the fact that then maybe I was created. Did anybody ever think about that? And maybe there should be a little bit of a gash in somebody's story or some type of humiliation because if we find out that 11 years old or a young age, in order to make sure that I would never be able to try to come for the throne, that Elizabeth, the daughter, or something like this, were to try to put me in a mental asylum or a mental, even if, like I said, if we're talking about like senior royals and then junior royals and it goes down, it goes, well, I should have said the, no, because like I said, I know about the senior royals, okay? But I know that there's also layers or levels to it underneath. Um, but it still would seem, hold on, let me see something real quick, because I know she didn't. This shit is getting a little bit disrespectful. Hold on one second. Hold on. No, that's why I said. But it's kind of crazy and it's kind of scary once you realize that people can be infiltrated. I never really thought about that growing up until like 15 years ago, 20 years ago. I started looking at shit a little bit different. Just like right now, I'm just sitting here. Yeah, it's daylight out and everything like this, but one of the twins just came down to go to work or whatever. I told you I'm having a problem with this person not locking the front door when they leave. Now it's getting bright out earlier. It usually it's not getting. I noticed that it's not getting bright out until like after 5 or 6 or something. Now it's getting bright at 4. Right now, I just sat here and I'm doing this video or whatever, and I was kind of talking, but not when she came down. But that's why I'm saying she just came down here, left out the front door with all her bags and shit, just left the front door wide open. I don't know if she heard me talking or not when she came down here. But even if I was talking, that don't mean leave the fucking front door open. That's why I'm motherfuckers is infiltrated. Maybe that's not crazy to you, but that's wild to me. Anyways, that kind of bothered me a little bit because I sat here and I waited because I thought that she was coming back in here to get some more stuff. She walked out with a bunch of bags. I thought she was coming back in here to get some more bags out of her room. But when I got up to look, she was already gone. That's why I be thinking these kids be joining these secret societies. They can't say nothing. They coming back around your house and shit like this. If they gotta come back and live. Because I'm telling you, if I would have this little bit of shit that I'm experiencing right now, if I would have been able to see it like this, because I feel like I was getting something from somebody like a certain masculine at one point in time saying like keep the family close. But I feel like that was like a lie because somebody knew that family members was going to be infiltrated, or maybe they didn't know. Maybe if somebody did know, but they could have thought it wasn't going to happen to them, maybe because they said that to try to trick you to keep your family close and stay close to your family, knowing these people would be compromised. And then the same thing that somebody was warning you about because they thought they was protected, that could be something that consumed them. You know what I'm saying? If these are guides, I know, listen, I know they be fucking with me. I know they, because I do spend a lot of time, online or watching and things like this. So there's a way because I feel like they are blocking peer-to-peer communication or intellectual, like full conversations again in the physical. You know how some people you got eye contact or you just know what's up or something like this, or you could read some people and you could see, hey, this might be one of mine because now it's going to be about finding these scattered people. So whether they're good or bad, I can look at a person even online and say, this person has crossed paths at some point in time. I don't know if it's good or bad. That's why I told you something about somebody. They did something to somebody's reptilian brain, so that or like I said, they're trying to call this thing POTS or whatever. If you feel like you split or whatever, and you don't you good at your like calm whatever presence, but when it comes to fight or flight, you for some reason you don't have fight or flight. There's something that keeps coming in my feed about this syndrome or something here. But I really do think that is people are selling off parts of our brain, or they're selling off some of our they're selling off something like this that they're not supposed to be fucking touching to some of these bratty kids that have been able to steal from other individuals that were on the rise here. God's children that didn't have the knowledge about how to obtain certain finances that was hidden from them, or certain identities and things like this. Um, and these people have stolen so much from our, they've probably gotten something, or they woke up and they realized they didn't have no hair, or they didn't have no heraldry, or they didn't have nothing. So they cleaved on to people, those of us that do have it. And they basically just started feeding. These are vampires. That's the real vampire. Like, I probably would fear that type of vampire before I would fear somebody actually, you know, going to a party one night and somebody biting me on my fucking neck. You know what I'm saying? And either I'm gonna die on the ground and rot, or I'm gonna turn into a vampire. I would fear the motherfucker that found out how to cleave on to something that was sacred. I'm gonna say sacred first, and possibly secret, and something that's a birthright or something to me, and then feed off of that, and then leave me with no future after you siphon my present, my past, and my fucking future. You get what I'm saying? So I realized that somebody wasn't probably looking, and then like staying at home or whatever. This was somebody saying like try to stay at home or whatever, do everything at home, find something to do from home or whatever. But I could notice like sometimes this is like advice that came from people, whether they knew it or not, that was going to betray, because it's like almost like Jesus when he found out. I think it was Peter or whoever it was that betrayed him, and went up and gave him a kiss. Okay, no, Judas. But I thought it was another person that did this too. That was like, I don't want to depart from you. I never want to depart from you. So people are looking at this shit as a physical occurrence, when in actuality, these could be connections through heartstrings or other things that, especially tarot readers, are telling people, cut them ties, cut them ties. They're the ones, these witches and these demons that's in these occults or things, they're the ones rattling your cage and telling you to cut off people that you went half or most of your life being connected to these people and being at ease and not really having no problems. Do you understand what I'm saying? And you didn't even know that they was fucking there. But somebody is telling you you need to cut them ties after they come rattle, or could be like shaken baby syndrome as well. If some of us are waking up from a slumber, or waking up, or going through a rebirth or something like this. You get what I'm saying? So people are purposely behind the scenes, ruining people's connections to their, I don't know. I don't know what to call this. To self. I don't know. People are deliberately, just out of envy and jealousy, like fucking with the fabrics of somebody's life. So I know why they try to confiscate or take over um, finances or something like this. Or try to act like I don't know what I'm talking about when I have these little outbursts where I connect the dots in something without having to do the actual research. But God let me know that. And people know what they're hearing when I said that. And these are runners that's supposed to say, oh, I know what that means. Let's get that together or whatever. And then it's almost like everything is supposed to be presented at one time. Like Jupiter ascending, the dude had to come down and take her through those places or whatever to get the shit she needed. Now, so you could be still doing this shit in another realm. But there's also shit that's supposed to be happening in the physical realm that should be obvious. I know that, for instance, I know that whatever this is that I'm up for, somebody already took a bitch. A girl with a mixed girl with like curly hair or something like this. They already took this person. They placed this person in a nice place. They gave this person a home, some keys. They gave something. This could even be somebody that is dispersing, you know, you know how like the royals have land here since, colonial times and shit like this that they've accomplished getting and things like this. Um, but it's almost like there's also on the when they deal with the lowlanders or whatever, or they come in and they mingle with them, or if they were able to do that but they weren't able to speak to me. You see what I'm saying? They had to keep this shit around the family or deal with the family. But what if the family was less competent than me? When was the people was gonna come and relay the messages to me? This shit is crazy. And now you got we shouldn't even have to deal with these people, these many people in some council or speaking. I'm the type of person like, dude, you're not supposed to heat. Why the fuck is you even talking, man? Why? And they letting groups do this, like rappers, or these are like all little distractions and all little something that's supposed to like mess up the fabric of something or mess up the path or messy up the path so you can't find it anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like on Alice in Wonderland with the fucking brooms, sweeping up the trail. So when she turned around and she was looking to see which way she'll have to go back to, it's like there ain't nothing to go back to. But there is. It's just somebody else's name is on something that it's not supposed to be on, and it's illegal. And the motherfuckers that do got their name on it should be in jail. And people are like, well, why you waiting? Get up and do something about it. There's really that's why I just told you. There's really nothing nobody can physically get up and do about whatever this is to get the footing. That's why I said, because if say the rule is the grandmother must hand down something. If the grandmother didn't do what they were supposed to do and they did it on purpose, or the grandmother knew that this was my nobody could have this something but me, and then you scratched off my name and put another grandchild name on there, I don't have to respect your ass. You knew that shit was mine. So therefore, even if you took and put that person and that woman and her children and everything on a council, when I say they gotta go, motherfucker, they gotta go. Because you just I know what you did. You took my shit off of there and you put this person's name on there. And you corrupt and you a liar. And these type of people don't get to have access to these type of things. You're trying to make something precious and something, motherfucker, that I feel like I birthed this shit. And you're trying to make it foul. And you trying to, and that's why I say I'm trying not to cuss that much, because they're trying to make my foul language a reason. But your foul actions, the Bible say it's about somebody's works. It didn't really say that, like, unless you're lying or something like this, it don't really talk about what's coming out of your mouth. God hates somebody that cuss. Okay, it didn't say that you a sinner and you about to die and go to hell, or you can't get your birthright. No, it just said that. Even with masturbation, God hates it. Whether we talking about somebody touching on their private parts, or we talking about somebody else touching your private parts or your private assets, or your stakes, or your stock, or whatever, or things that you could have like in a company or something like this, or your documents or your birth certificates, because people be ready to, get shit done. They like, this is the paperwork, okay, official. You don't really got to do too much. Ain't nobody like getting no magnifying glass. If somebody wanted to see your birth certificate and your social, they kind of just look at it, type the little numbers. They're not opening it up, putting a flashlight on it, saying, let's see, let's hold it under the light to make sure that this is the right birth. It either got the seal on your birth certificate, or, you know what I'm saying? If we're talking about your social, you know, there's the numbers. Nobody's like trying to, put a light underneath the social security card to see if it's legit or anything like this. They just basically go off face value. Well, what the shit say? Now, these people could be trying to protect themselves by saying, but what? That person is crazy. Here's the girl right here. Oh, you talking about S. Breed? Whatever the name will be or whatever. Yeah, here she is right here. I don't know what that crazy lady is talking about. The thing is, these people should have, if they stole something or whatever, they should have moved on. They should not be coming back here trying to fuck me over or make me less than or show me how they're going to look at me like some black bitch or something and put me in my place or whatever. No, that's the wrong thing to do. Because really, even if this was the family that married into me, Really, that was my shit before you even had anything to do with it. And people could say, well, we have kings in our family too. Motherfucker, you don't have an active king. You're not a part of an active, the so-called active royal family. And again, a liar. It's like somebody want to say like we overthrew them or whatever. We just kept it in the back. No, you did. Well, publicly, that's what it says. So I'm going off what the fuck I'm seeing. I'm not going off what you. I don't believe you a liar. I can't believe nothing the fuck you saying. And there's secret moves and dealings and my children right up under my nose in my house and shit. Y'all using it some kind of spies and shit like this, or you guys, it's almost like these people should already be charged if they took the spouse and the children, or even if they took the spouse and me and the children, and then I end up dying in their hands, and now there's still a me, this me here. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody think they fooling somebody. Hold on one second, y'all.